107.7 The Bronx and 1077thebronx.com. Welcome back to Health411. I'm Professor Jonathan Karp here with Kaya Besedimer, and we are talking with Philip Wilson about infrared technology. In the last segment, Philip was telling us about these devices. We know these are at-home devices, so I'm going to ask you two questions, Philip. These are at-home devices that expose people to infrared light. What do they look like? Are they entire rooms like saunas? And then sort of how do you go from this light generating some heat with vibrating water molecules to wellness?
Good. The relaxed sauna is 2 feet 8 inches by 2 feet 9 inches that's the footprint. It's about 4 feet 6 inches, about 3 foot 10 inches tall. Your head sticks out. You can put your head inside. You go to relaxedsaunas.com and you can see a picture of heads in or heads out of the relaxed sauna. And we put people in at conferences for 5 to 7 minutes. And we say that's the magic time to go in, because around 8 minutes is when you start sweating. There's no preheating, and people go in. And I tell them at the conference, I said, you feel like you're being you're being hugged by your loving grandma, or a warm blanket is around you, or you're basking in divine love, or you're on a beach in Hawaii.
Or the sunlight on a cold day, like you described earlier.
Well, yes.
And I can relate to that, absolutely.
On a cold day, you close your eyes, you feel that. That's the far infrared light. Now, that's the loving light of the sun, is the far infrared ray. Now, when you go into the sun, about 41% of that energy is near infrared and only a little bit far. Now, the reason other saunas, the wooden infrared saunas, are wonderful, and that's what Sherry Rogers used, which she talked about in her book. But the problem with them is that they don't work nearly as well as the relaxed sauna does, because there's too much near infrared. If it's 50% near and 50% far, see, the near infrared we are a repository for far infrared light. The far infrared light vibrates the water, and it turns out that about 15% of the water in our body is structured water, and the far infrared ray energy from the relaxed sauna, that will increase the structured water about 50 to 100% and charge the water, which means we store energy. See, we are going around shining, like little babies are shining lots of far infrared light, and when someone's on their deathbed, they're not shining very much. A lot of times you'll run into people and say, you're shining today. That's our perception of the person's far infrared light, that we all shine. Water is a far infrared molecule. We are far infrared light beings. We shine far infrared light. We absorb it.
So what's the penetration of infrared light if you're exposing a body part to it?
Near infrared, which it took us 10 years to figure out, using semiconductor chips, which is computer technology, to give you 100% far infrared light, and to filter out the near. Near infrared penetrates only about 1/16 of an inch, and it's sort of like, since it's not far, it's not us, our energy, we resist it, so that causes a little bit of stress. So that energy is a little bit harsh. But far infrared, we are a repository for, so we absorb it. So it's loving, and it's soft, loving light. And most of your infrared saunas are like 50-50 or maybe 20 far and 80 near, but there's too much harsh, so we don't feel hugged and loved by those saunas. And we have about 300 testimonies out of the 1,000 video testimonies we have on our YouTube channel. You just go and say relax sauna testimonials, and they say, I feel like I'm being hugged by my loving grandma. And no one has ever said that in another sauna, but they're all good.
So are the infrared sauna, is this technology like recharging a battery? If you look at the body as something that holds some energy and that can be lost with time?
Yes, and what it does, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Well, see, it activates all this. It's when you have a fever, what does that do? If you look on PubMed.com, having a fever. It's going to increase circulation. It's going to lower blood pressure,
Yes.
get rid of inflammation
And
and pain.
and that's the sense that you're describing. What I'm envisioning is the heat generated by the oscillation of water is going to dilate the blood vessels. It's going to increase circulation, increase delivery of whatever's in your blood. It's going to increase perfusion rates, and that has healing characteristics of its own.
The angle in the water will go from 32 degrees to 27 degrees, and the water will become smaller, and so the blood cells will become smaller, and that's why it's like instead of semi trucks going through your blood vessels, it's like motorcycles. I'm exaggerating quite a bit. But yeah, it's going to raise your body temperature. You're going to feel warm. You're going to feel, and that's going to have wonderful effects. But the most exciting effect of far infrared ray on the body, especially the relaxed sauna, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and that gets you into the now. And when you're in the now and your caffeine nervous mind isn't in the way, healing can take place. And it's a beautiful thing.
And you mentioned the 5 to 7 minute as sort of being the critical. Is that part of like a dose response curve? That like if you sit in there too long, I can't. You're not going to get sunburns because it's not UVA or UVB.
Right. Yeah.
But is that when people start to sweat and you get uncomfortable and all that kind of stuff? You stay in too long. How is that 5 to 7 minutes sort of picked?
Well, it's because at 8 minutes you start sweating, and when I'm at conferences, people don't want to sweat.
Yeah, and how often should you do that? Is it a dose a day? Is it a couple doses a day?
You can do 2 or 3 a day, but people go into the sauna once they get them. They do 20-minute profuse sweats that will put to shame what another sauna can do in an hour in terms of getting the toxins out of the body. But 20 minutes is what I do almost every morning. I say it puts a cup of coffee to shame in the morning. Sometimes I'll do it twice or 3 times, and some people will do it for 30 minutes. Sometimes people will do it 10 minutes before they go to bed, and they'll just start to sweat a little bit. Or they'll do a great sweat, 20-minute profuse sweat before they go to bed. People always say they sleep better.
They feel better.
People with arthritis, any kind of pain. When I put people into the show, I say 50% to 100% of your pain will be gone every time in 5 to 7 minutes, all the time.
And I have to ask you this too, because I think correctly, you used the word wellness. And wellness, you're nodding because I think you know where I'm going with this. Wellness does not equal healing. And so can you explain how you view that in this world?
Well, see, we are far infrared light beings, and we shine far infrared light, and when we absorb far infrared light and it charges our battery because it charges the water, we start vibrating more, we start glowing. And so I started in this whole health movement for someone who was pretty healthy to be super healthy. I also found out that if you have Lyme disease, we have 5 cancer clinics to sell the relaxed sauna. We have thousands of health professionals that promote the relaxed sauna to their patients, nutritional counselors. The Los Angeles Dodgers called us up, said, we want to take a sauna to Toronto with us for the World Series.
Oh, wow. Did they really? Wow.
And we did the same thing last year for the Mets. We sent it next day air to the Mets Stadium, and I have a picture of Gavin Lux in the sauna at the Mets Stadium last year. And this year we delivered. I have a picture of us delivering a sauna to the strength and conditioning coach in front of Dodger Stadium, and they took him to the sauna to Toronto. That's probably what gave him the extra edge to endure. We take the credit.
Yeah, go ahead, take credit for that.
4 years.
Unless you're a Toronto Blue Jay fan, yeah.
Right. I know. I got a cousin who lives in Toronto. They're not pretty happy. They're not very happy.
There you go. But Philip, so unfortunately in this segment, I'm fascinated by this. It's the Relax Sauna website, and you mentioned some things there. If people wanted to learn more in depth, then can we go here in our 45 minutes? Where do they go? What should they look for on the website?
Relaxsaunas.com.
Okay.
That's with an S, relaxsaunasplural.com. Relaxsaunas.com/superior gives you the latest information, and that goes you directly there. They can email me at phil@relaxsaunas.com. And I think that we ought to give all your students a $100 discount code if they decide they want to get one. We can decide upon that later, and you can post it.
Oh,
But I think
absolutely. Absolutely. That's very, very kind. Very, very cool. And these are at-home saunas. It sounds like they would fit in a dorm room if somebody wanted
yes,
one.
exactly. This is about the only sauna that it'll fit in a dorm room. And I know we had a guy in the swim team at Ohio State University who had it in his dorm room, and all the other swim team people were amazed by it. I mean, this is the ultimate in holistic health. It's the pinnacle of all the products I've ever sold in my health food store to get people to feeling balanced, good, grounded, super healthy, and it nips a cold in the bud. It gets rid of migraine headaches almost instantly within 7-8 minutes. I have seen so many miracles at shows that it would blow you away. People with arthritis, pain is gone, or at least 50%. And there's thousands of testimonies on youtube.com, and then do a search for Relaxed Sauna testimonials. Then go to the Relaxed Sauna testimonial YouTube channel, and they're all there, and you can do a search and to your heart's desire. Okay. You can email me, and I tell you that this is one of the people who invented the Relaxed Sauna using semiconductor chips. They deserve the Nobel Prize. And this is, if you're a college student and you want to get tuned in so you can be creative, so you can get a great grade on that test, so you can learn a lot, because when you're in the sauna, you're mobilizing the lymphatic system, you're detoxifying the body, and you're setting yourself up for life. I've got many people who've had it for 20 years, doctors who say it's the best investment they've ever made in their life for their health.
Thank you, Philip. This has been a fascinating thing. I hope anybody who's listening will go check it out on the website. Unfortunately, this is the end of the program. This is 107.7 The Bronx and 1077thebronx.com. Thank you for listening to Health 411. This program is part of Capital Health and Rider University's efforts to bring people together to address all sorts of things associated with health and healthcare. I want to thank Philip Wilson again, president of Relaxed Saunas, and a very, very informed conveyor of information about infrared technology and using energy as healing. If you have questions or comments about this program or want to offer suggestions for future broadcasts, please email us at health411@rider.edu.
Remember, you have a doctor's appointment scheduled for every Sunday at 10 a.m. Don't miss the all-new Health 411 with Dr. Jonathan Karp and our expert medical guests from Capital Health. You can listen to Health 411 anytime on demand. Go to 1077thebronx.com/Health411 to listen to past episodes, or tune in every Thursday at 9 a.m. to hear the weekend rewind edition of Health 411. Health 411 on 1077 The Bronx is underwritten by Capital Health, Minds Advancing Medicine. Capital Health is the region's leader in providing progressive quality patient care with exceptional physicians, nurses, and staff, as well as advanced technology.